We're into the quarterfinals in Shanghai, and we've had high drama on the court with the best rivalry other than Auger-Aliassime. It's Medvedev versus Tien, and Medvedev finally gets his revenge in a hard-fought battle. We've had Minaur going through as well, and Rinderknech. It seems to be his year as well. We're going to be giving our predictions on all the quarterfinals, so stay tuned.
That's right, Ben. It's quarter-final time at Shanghai. And who would have thought we would get to a quarter-final of a Masters event without Jannik Sinner or Carlos Alcaraz, both of them not making this stage, but Novak Djokovic is there. And looking at the players left in the draw, I'll be surprised to see if he's not the favourite. Of course, Daniel Medvedev, you mentioned the big epic matchup with him and Lerner Tien. I believe they played 3 times now, one not too long ago. And Daniel Medvedev finally gets revenge, but it wasn't a straightforward match at all. It had its ups and downs. Medvedev looked like he had the match won in that second set. But it wasn't to be. And then from that moment, you were thinking there was no chance he could win the third. But somehow he did. And we've got to see a really high-level match between 2 excellent players. 2 players who play a similar style in the fact that they were trying to keep the rally going. More so, Lerner Tien. I think Daniel Medvedev wasn't willing to stay in the rallies with Tien and opted for so many drop shots and so many big serves, often getting double faults as well. But in terms of other players, Alex de Minaur is another guy you could say maybe is this his moment with other players missing. Felix, who's looking good. Rinderknech having a great year. Or maybe a Auger-Aliassime going down on the bottom half of the draw. Could be playing a Djokovic if he beats Bergs. And a lot to discuss.
Most definitely. I'm just putting the odds on the screen for the quarterfinalists and potentially winning the tournament. Djokovic was a heavy favourite before we've seen the performances in the last round. And now Alex de Minaur, well, Djokovic is at 3s, Alex de Minaur at 4s. And that is a credit to him for how well he's playing. We'll talk about his match in a moment. Felix Auger-Aliassime at 5s, Holger-Rune 5.5, Medvedev at 7s, Rinderknech at 23s, Zizou Bergs at 26, and then Vacherot bringing up the rear. But just great to have his name amongst that list of the final 8. I'm sure he's at 29s. I'm a little bit surprised that it's become so tight in the odds, but I think that's just credit to the way and how emphatic the victories have been for some of the other players who are now closing the gap on the odds with Djokovic. Medvedev isn't one of those ones. He's at 7s, but that's probably because, like you were saying, these matches against Lerner Tien aren't doing him any favors whatsoever. It was an absolute enthralling encounter. And I think, well, it says here, epic encounter. It was 2 tie breaks. And like you said, he was pretty much in a winning position. He was a set up. Yeah. He was 3-love up. It was 15-40 as well. And then he let it suddenly fall apart. Lerner Tien started getting in his head. And
physically struggled too.
Oh, yeah, he had cramps as well. But the one thing that he had in this one was when he had the cramps and he had the medical timeout and the physio, when he came back, he actually was better than he even looked in the first set, I think, in the third set, which was crazy. I just thought, well played to Daniel for actually mentally pushing through. And something was with his body that was physically better this time than it was last week, where he was unable to continue. But I don't think that was the main headline in this. It was more the Daniel Medvedev show and the fact that he was so frustrated. Every single shot Lerner Tien hit, it was going on the baseline, and he just was talking throughout the whole match. He was like, this guy's everywhere. I don't know what to do. And he was saying, it's impossible. He keeps hitting the baseline. Every time Lerner Tien would win a point, he was like, it's on the baseline again. It's on the baseline. They were saying in the commentary, they're like, it's almost like childish. It's like we see this when players are 12, they have they start complaining their opponents playing too well. But this guy's a Grand Slam champion and a former world number one. What's he acting like this? But it all added to the whole like aura of this match, where Lernertien's just a quiet, like young lad down the other end, just playing his tennis and watching this Russian guy just explode on the other end. It was two complete polar opposites of players. But at the end, they both had a bit of a laugh at the net, and Daniel did apologize to him for all of his outbursts during the match.
But is this not what we love? Is this
Yeah,
not the Daniel Medvedev show we love to see over the years? It's certainly crossed the line in recent years, and we've seen some really sour incidents with him on court, which have been a little bit too much, or maybe quite a bit too much. But I don't think he crossed any lines here. He was very respectful to Lernertien after the match. It was
yeah.
nice to see him applauding him when he left the court. He went over and gave him a nice embrace too. And he dug in when it looked like he was going to probably have to either retire or just completely collapse in the third. But he dug in very deep, and you saw how much it meant to him when he got that final point over the line, Lernertien going into the net. But Tien's a very good defensive player. He is going to frustrate so many players on tour. He's super consistent. He does get the ball deep more times than not. Good returner. Just a great overall tennis player. I don't think there's many weaknesses in his game, especially on the hard courts, and he will come good on the hard courts.
I'd say upstairs maybe is the weakness. Just closing things out. He seems to
I think he lacks a little bit of aggression though. Like
a little bit.
it only
Yeah.
takes you so far. If you play against a Yannick Sinner in that way, look what happened: 6-2, 6-2 in a final. I'm sorry, but the real powerful top players will just go straight through him. It's not enough. He needs to be a little bit more on the front foot if he wants to be winning Grand Slams. And I'm sure that's the kind of conversation we'll be having soon with him, because he is a very good
Yeah.
player who is trying to break inside the top 10 in the next few years.
For sure.
But yeah, fantastic match. The pick of the bunch. Another match. I don't know where you want to go next. Really, I would like to speak about Rinderknech.
Okay, let's go to Rinderknech. And something quite interesting about Rinderknech is him and Vacherot. I didn't even realize this, that they're actually cousins. It's
Ah,
bizarre.
I
Yeah,
thought it
so
was friends. I saw a photo of them as kids together.
it says family ties, yeah, and it says
Ah.
cousins make the Shanghai last eight. Yeah, I didn't even realize this coming in, and now it's even more bizarre
Are you
because two
sure
players.
you've not been centled?
Well, let's have a quick check. It says
Censored.
tennis TV, so I'll take it
Yeah,
unless
could be.
unless
Could
they've
be
been hacked.
AI, Ben. This could be fake.
Could be Sora too. I don't know. I
You
don't know
never
what.
know what to believe nowadays online.
That is very true. I mean, my whole computer might have been hacked, and I might have just had it taken over with a fake X, which is just full of garbage. But I'll take this for face value, and I'll believe it's Tennis TV telling us this. But yeah, cousins making it through, and unlikely cousins, I'd say, getting through to this point. It's an incredible story for both players, but I think he's overshadowing the Vacherot thing at the moment, Rinderknech, because he's having just a fantastic year. Not only just beating Zverev and everyone maybe just thinking, oh, he's got his number, but then just to be doing it again, he just beat Lehechka. Like Lehechka's a great player as well. And what's the ceiling for him at the moment? That's the big question, because I just thought maybe, oh, he just had a couple of good matches here and there, and he was just maybe just not lucky, but some players have a little spell where they just win a couple of big matches and then you don't see or hear of them again. He's continued. Looks brilliant as well. His serve is very, very effective. He's coming into the net a lot, which is really, really causing problems. The volleying looks very, very good from him as well. And he's won in straight sets through to the quarters.
Yeah, I think he's fantastic. The betting odds have got it all wrong when he steps out on court, because beating a Yuri Lehechka is not easy. Some people would have tipped this guy, with a lot of the big names going out, as maybe one of the people who could sneak the tournament and win it. I don't think it's that crazy to suggest that Yuri Lehechka is good enough to do that. He is an elite level tennis player. and probably myself included, thought it would be quite straightforward for him to win this match. But I keep writing him off, Rinderknech. I've done it so much in the Grand Slams when he was playing very well. He's got the ability to beat a lot of good players, and his technique is unorthodox. I don't think it's always that pretty on the eye. I know a lot of the Italian fans are frustrated with him with the way he acted in the match against Yannick Sinner recently. But he is a very good tennis player. I wanted to check where he is in the rankings, because if he does continue playing like this, I think it's a matter of time until he's inside the top 20 and trying to push for the top 10. I don't think he's got enough to be a top 10 player, but certainly someone who can be troubling and trying to get in there, a little bit like at the moment, your Rublevs and your Medvedevs, because they're in that bracket.
It's quite crazy, isn't it, when players get this sort of late surge of form in a career? Some people blossom earlier in their career.
43 in the world.
Yep, he's 30 years old. Now he's up to 43 in the world. If he wins his next match against Felix Auger-Aliassime, he will then move up
Which is
to
winnable.
37 in the world. He'll overtake Lerner if he wins the next match.
Good.
And Zizou Bergs as well. They're all grouped in there. Zizou Bergs at 38. So all of these players battling for in and around the 35 mark. They're trying to push on. That, like, obviously the target for all those players has got to be 32 for the seeds, isn't it? So because you really want to be around there come the Australian Open. We could see all of them as seeds, potentially, all of those players. João Fonseca included. He's 44 in the world as well.
Well,
Not far off.
he needs to play tennis, Ben, João Fonseca, to get anywhere.
It's coming soon. Not sure how.
Is Lerner Tien not going to be playing?
Is what? Sorry, say again.
Is Lerner Tien not going to be playing in the next events?
I'm sure he'll probably be trying his best, but he must be feeling a bit of fatigue.
Yeah, have a rest, Tien. Have a rest. We need Fonseca to play a bit.
He's quite young though. He's 19. Come on, he can play for the rest of the year, I'm sure. Who knows? Might still make the tour finals. No, I don't know. I doubt that very much. But I'd love to see him do well in Paris. Next up, I think that we should be speaking about is the second favourite for the tournament and somebody who looks unbelievable. When there's no Alcaraz, when there's no Sinner, this guy, he steps up. Alex de Minaur, he's a favourite of the channel as well. We've spoken to him in person. We've seen him play live in front of him. He's fantastic. He's won 50 matches this year, and he is the third player to do it. It is Alcaraz, Taylor Fritz, and Alex de Minaur now. That is incredible. 50 wins in a year.
Yeah, and he probably would be favourite if he had an easier draw. The reason he doesn't is because he's got Daniel Medvedev and he's on the top half of the draw. Djokovic with, on paper, a lot easier of a draw. So if you switch them positions, you'd probably say that de Minaur would be the bookie's favourite. And I'm not mad at that at all. The questions I think you've got to ask is, can de Minaur beat Djokovic at this event? I'm not so sure.
The way that he's playing at the moment, I think it's definitely possible. I think Daniel Medvedev, he'll look at what Lerner Tien's been doing and he'll be happy that he's worn him out, because Alex de Minaur is not tired whatsoever. He's not cramping. He's not worried. And he is, if you see, he's got your racket. And that racket is helping, I'm telling you. He is hitting some clean winners, harder than I've ever seen Alex de Minaur hit the ball right now. He smashed Borges off the court earlier on. It was impressive.
Did you see him at Wimbledon, though, when they played de Minaur, Djokovic?
But this is de Minaur versus
Do you remember
Medvedev.
that?
I did. Yeah.
And this is the same thing. Like, he can't beat Djokovic.
I'm talking about Medvedev to start with. Djokovic, how do we know he's going to get to the final? We don't know. There's not a cert. That's the thing. He's been dropping sets along the way. Alex de Minaur, I reckon he could get past Daniel Medvedev in this quarterfinal. He's the favourite. He's a 1.5 against the Daniel 2.63. And I think that's justified as well, considering the form that he's been in and considering how much Medvedev's been struggling against players who are very consistent and can run a lot. That's Tien, and that's definitely de Minaur.
Yeah, I'm really undecided on who I think is going to win that one.
Yeah, it's very, very. I think in the past it would be even tougher to call, and you'd definitely side with Medvedev. I think the odds would be swapped the other way if we rewind a couple of years. But that just credits to Minaur and how far his game has come along. We had an Italian in the tournament, not Yannick Sinner, and now an Italian out of the tournament with Yannick Sinner. It is Lorenzo complain about the cough. Musetti, as he's now known. Is that right?
Yeah, he did it again. He was speaking to the umpire about it, saying, I know I made a mistake. I said something wrong, but please say something to them because I think he thinks they're now coughing on purpose because of the
I
incident.
would.
It's simply in his head.
It's going to
And
follow him
when
everywhere, I think.
well, he keeps thinking about it. So I feel everyone now, if you want to get under his skin and disrupt him and lose your focus, which you need 100% focus played tennis, people will just cough.
Yeah,
So he's kind of put a target on his back with them comments, and that's all I can say about that. But he's out, and he's not making the quarterfinals. Felix is there. He's made so many quarterfinals at Masters. I did have the stat a second ago. Let's see if I've still got it. No, I don't. I think it was 11.
impressive.
But he's not been ever so successful in them, in the sense that Felix is a man who gets to finals. He can get to a semi-final, can get to the quarterfinals, he can get deep in the thing. He can't always get it over the line, but he is looking good at this very moment. And yeah, let's get in some predictions anyway, and we'll go through it all.
For sure. Okay, I'm going to go. Who should I go to first for the predictions? I think that we should start off with Felix, as we've just been speaking about him. He is playing Arthur
Okay,
Rinderknech.
whereabouts are we on this? So this is the
Okay.
top,
Oh,
middle.
yeah, so this is the top of the draw. I'll show all of the draws so everyone can see. So you've got Alex de Minaur versus Daniel at the top with Rinderknech and Felix. And then at the bottom, we got Zizou, Bergs, Djokovic, and Rune versus Vacherot.
Okay, do you want to go first or second then?
You can go first on this one.
Okay, so I'm going to be going for. You can make a case for either. I don't know at all. I think you can go look down the middle. I'm going to go Felix in 3.
Ooh. I'm going to go for the upset. Felix is a 1.3. Rinderknech is
Not
3.5.
really an upset though.
3.
I think if you want to bet on this, you go handicap Rinderknech.
Yeah, I think
It's
they
worth
did
going.
play.
It's going for a game handicap.
They played at Cincinnati, but they didn't finish the match. Rinderknech did retire in the second set after a tie-break first set. He's always good for a tie-break, I think, Rinderknech. So I'm going to be going for him. And I think it'll be in 3 sets that he'll go through. On to the next one. Did you having Felix in straight sets or 3?
No, I said Felix in 3.
3. Okay, cool. Right. Should we stick at the top? We should probably stay at the top. de Minaur versus Medvedev. I think we both sort of were showing our cards a little bit earlier. I'm going to stick to my guns, and I think Alex de Minaur is going to be too much for Daniel Medvedev in this one. I actually think he beats him in straight sets.
Yeah, it is the sensible thing to say, but my heart wants Daniel Medvedev to win.
The drama.
I don't know why, and I'm going to be going for Daniel Medvedev to win in 3.
If he makes 3 sets,
I know it's against what I'm saying, but it's a prediction, isn't it? And that's kind of what I'm going to predict. I'm going to throw it out there.
I will be super surprised if he's able to do another 3 sets.
I think a lot of people will be surprised to see him win, but I'm predicting it.
I think he needs to win in 2. Right, let's move to the bottom. We got Djokovic versus Zizou Bergs. Zizou Bergs been in very good form, but now he's up against the master of masters, which is Novak Djokovic. Obviously, Zizou Bergs knocked out Diallo in the last round. He's knocked out Cerundolo, Casper Ruud, and Seb Korda in this.
Very good win against Diallo. I saw a bit of that. It was a good match. But I'm going to be going for Djokovic in straights.
I'm going to be going for Djokovic, and I think it's going to be 3 again. Sadly, I don't think this is going to help Djokovic at all. But I've not been that convinced by him getting through these matches. But he's doing it just with grit and determination. Djokovic in 3, but yeah, there's going to be a bit of a wobble in there somewhere. And last but not least, we've got Vacherot, the man from Monaco. I think he's the first guy from Monaco to reach a Masters quarterfinal. I think that
They all
was
live in
another
Monaco.
Yeah, but officially from Monaco.
They're all officially from Monaco. Just ask the tax man.
Yep. Well, yeah. There's not much tax being paid over there, I'll tell you that.
Oliver Rune in straight sets.
I'm going to go Rune in 3. I think Vacherot may start quite quick, but then fade, and then Rune will come through, and then we'll get the Djokovic versus Rune semi-final. I think everybody wants that one. Cool.
That's right. And that is our quarterfinal predictions for Shanghai. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. Who is your favourite right now? Do you agree that Djokovic should be the favourite? I think a lot is riding on the Daniel Medvedev Minaur match. Of course, they're expecting Minaur to win. If he does, then he's got a really good chance to win this tournament. But he's going to have to probably get through a Djokovic because Djokovic looks good value for a final. But it's a very open event. Definitely, you can make a case for a lot of players. But right now, my eyes are on that Daniel Medvedev Alex de Minaur match.
Most definitely, that is the popcorn match out of all of them. But this tournament's thrown up some very surprising matches and some very good tennis and some drama due to all of the very, very hot conditions. So may everybody survive. Hopefully no more retirements from anybody and we get some just great tennis. And yeah, tell us your picks in the comments. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you after the quarterfinals are done.
See you then.